Hello, welcome back to your mat. Today we're going to work on our postures. We're going to just focus on the upper body today. So give the rest, give the spine a rest. We're just going to work on posture. So for today's class, you will need a strap, a belt, a towel, a scarf, something like a strap. Otherwise, you won't need any other props. So find something like that to work, even a t-shirt, whatever you have, grab something. And we'll get started with a quote by BKS Iyengar. Yoga is light, which once lit will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter your flame. So, and better doesn't necessarily mean better in looking at your postures, but just coming to the mat on a regular basis. That's going to help your practice and keep that flame brighter. So we're going to work on posture. And so I want to start with, I want you just to sit in your normal, how you would normally sit. So, and I'm going to show you how I would probably normally sit. Try to sit like this. But let's be honest, if you're just hanging out, how do you sit? So go ahead and let your shoulders round, let your back round. Go ahead and do what you normally would do. And some of you may be really surprised at how you normally would sit. So I want you to notice for just a minute. And notice how that feels on you. I mean, I can feel it pulling in my lower back even. You know, this isn't the best way to be sitting all the time. So just keep that in mind. And I want you to notice that because we're going to come back to that at the end of the class and see how we feel at the end of class. So for all of these first few postures, we're going to use the strap, and you can come standing if you like. You can sit cross-legged. You could sit on your heels, which is I think what I'm going to do. Sit on a block. You could sit on a backless chair, maybe like an ottoman or maybe your coffee table, because we're going to move in our arms, so you're going to want to have some room behind you. Wherever. So you can stand, sit, whatever you want to do. You decide what works best for you today, and go ahead and grab that strap. And we're going to go ahead and start now. We're going to come out of that being rounded and go ahead and just sit up nice and tall or stand up tall, however you are. Really have the shoulders back, down away from your ears, nice and tall out of your pelvis. Grab a hold of your strap and open that up. And you're going to have to play around with where your hands are going to be on the strap. So that really depends upon your shoulders. So I'm going to go about this length, but again, every person is different. Go ahead and bring that strap out in front of you, whether you're standing or sitting. Inhale. Exhale. All right, and now on the inhale, we're going to bring the strap up overhead till you start to feel some resistance. So go ahead and just stop wherever you need to stop. So maybe you're here. Go ahead and stop overhead. We're not going to go behind our back just yet. So go ahead and find that spot. And then slowly, you may have to lengthen out your grip on the belt. But go ahead and bring it behind you some. And go ahead and stop a little bit back here somewhere. And again, come to your right. Wherever your spot is, go ahead and stop. You should definitely feel it in your pecs. You can feel it in your shoulders. Try not to let your ribs jet forward. Try to keep everything in line and nice and straight as best you can. And pull with the strap. So pull the strap apart. Don't let it go loose here. You want it to be nice and tight. And if you're still feeling it and you can go a little bit further, again, you may have to bring your hands out further on the strap to come further down. Some of you may not be able to come this way. This might be too much for your shoulders. So if you need to stay more up here or here, go for it. If you have that range of motion with that mobility without hurting yourself, go ahead and bring it down behind you. Again, if that is not working for your shoulders, then do not push through that. I do not want to be having people like, oh, you hurt my shoulders during this class. Don't push through pain. All right, wherever you are, inhale and bring it back up and back in front of you. So we're going to do that a few times. So again, you go to where is best for you, whether that's just overhead, slightly behind you, or all the way to the back. And again, you may need to play around with where you hold onto the strap. But again, you want it to be tight, not loose. So inhale here. Bring it up overhead. And exhale, bring it behind you if that works for you. I'm having to move my hands down my strap a bit to go behind me. The shoulders are really tight. And then we'll come back over and back up to the front. Okay, a few more rounds of that, breathing at your own pace and just bringing that strap up and over to your degree. You can always stop and feel like a spot that's like, oh, that's really stuck. It feels good to just really open that up. Wherever it feels good to stop, stop there. Listen to your body. I'm not in your body. I could not tell you what's working best for you. You're going to have to, I can only guide you. So listen to your body. bring that back forward. Go ahead and release the strap for a minute. Shake out the hands. Now we're going to do a version of what is called cow face arms with the strap. And this is helpful for a lot of people because a lot of us cannot clasp our hands together. So with this, you don't have to worry about it. So bring the strap up again. And this time, you're going to bring that left arm up while the right arm goes behind you and down. So now you've got your right arm up your left arm up in the air, and your right arm is behind you. And we're really stretching here, just opening up the triceps, still opening the chest and the shoulders. And then come on back up to center. And now we'll do the other side. So bring your right arm up, your left arm behind you. And really pull down on that strap. Really feel that stretch through your tricep there. And bring it back up. Now, if you'd like, you can have your hands a little bit closer on your strap and do that same thing again. But this time, when you bring your left, God, I can't say my left and right today, left arm up, you can bend it and then bend it down and then bring that right arm down behind you. So you can get a little bit more into that stretch if you'd like to, or you can leave it straight up. Whatever is working best for you today. And let's do it again the other side. I'm going to leave mine straight up. So now my left hand's behind me, my right arm is up. And inhale, come back up. And let's do it one more each side. So you're just going back and forth from one side to the other. And once more here. And then go ahead and bring that back up and release your strap for a moment. You'll find that a regular yoga practice is really going to help improve your posture. So especially doing something like this, especially strap work. So you could do those longer. I'm trying to keep this class so it's not too long, but you could do all of those for several more rounds to really help open everything up. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take both of your hands. So we're going to have, actually, I'll explain a little bit better. So we'll take the right hand and you're going to thread it behind you. And then you're going to clasp both of your hands, and I'll turn around so you can see the back here. So right hand is coming around, and I'm going to have both of my hands are over here. Now, you may not be able to come quite that far. Figure out where you can come. But the best to bring both of your hands over to your left side, your left hip. So we've done that. And then you're going to try to keep this, I call it the chicken wing arm. Try to keep that pulled in. So you might be a little bit more here, and that's okay. If your shoulders want to open up, it's fine. So just keep that left elbow pulled in the best you can. Get your hands clasped. Inhale here, and then exhale. Go ahead and just tilt your neck over to the left. Or your left ear to your left shoulder. Your neck will obviously turn there too. So we're just kind of opening up this right side here a bit. So also part of our posture is our neck. And a lot of times when our posture is out of alignment, we start to get neck tension, which guess what? That leads to headaches. So everything's connected, everything. Today we're focusing on the upper body, but obviously the lower body is also connected to all of that too. Breathe here for a few rounds, trying to, again, keep that left elbow tucked in the best you can, pulling that right arm over the best you can also, without straining and pulling, and keeping the ribs tucked in. You don't want them to jut out. And then go ahead and release the neck, bring your head back up, release the arms, shake those out for a minute. Probably really feel it right here a little bit. And then we'll do the other side. So same thing, thread that left arm over and clasp your hands together. And again, you might be more behind, that's fine. But we want to really keep this right elbow tucked in so we're not jutting out like this. Nice and tall here. And then go ahead and bring that right ear to your right shoulder and opening up that left side. Only to your degree. So if you really feel tension here, don't go too far. I'm not trying to crank the neck. But we're just trying to help open up the upper body that tends to be in a rounded state throughout our day from being on devices. And, we're all doing things that are not necessarily the best for our bodies, computer work. And so we're just trying to do the opposite of what we do a lot of every day. Again, keeping that right elbow tucked back the best you can. Shoulders away from the ears. And go ahead and bring your head back to center and release your hands and shake that out. All right, so now we're going to come down onto our bellies. So go ahead and make sure we don't need the strap anymore. So you can set that aside and go ahead and make your way to your stomach. And we're going to start with just a little bit here to finish out our practice. We're going to start with Sphinx. So very much like the Egyptian Sphinx. Going to bring those elbows under your shoulders. And that chest out and open. You don't want to be rounding here, so you really want to have those shoulder blades are down your back. Your shoulders are away from your ears, and your chest is open toward out here. So again, we're not rounding, we're opening. So do the opposite of what you do a lot of times, at least most of us do. And really open up here. And then go ahead and just turn and look over that left shoulder just slightly. You don't have to go crazy here. Just enough to kind of, again, open up that neck area that can get really tense. Breathing here, always breathing. Breathing makes all the postures so much better and easier. Back to center, and then go ahead and look over that right shoulder without cranking. And again, staying upright in the chest there, keeping that chest open. And then back to center. And again, just keeping that chest open for a moment. Take a few breaths here. Almost like you had like a string attached to your chest and it was pulling it out. So you're coming up out of your pelvis and staying open here. And people might be walking by you thinking, man, she's not doing anything in that pose. But Sphinx pose does take some work here. You got to hold yourself up and you got to keep your shoulders down and there is some work here. So you can tell people, yes, I actually am doing something. And then come all the way down our foreheads. And so we're doing some stretching, but we also need to strengthen the upper back because that will help us keep our posture more upright. So we're going to do some variations of locust. So go ahead and bring your forehead to the ground, and your hands are going to go behind. Your hands are going to go behind you. Down to the floor. So your palms are facing the floor, and your forehead's down. And on this first one, we're going to inhale and just bring the chest and the head and neck up. You can leave your hands down on the ground for a moment for the locust here. Looking out in front of you, helping to really strengthen this upper back area. Exhale, come down. Now this time we're going to come up and add the arms. So go ahead and inhale and rise up with your arms up, and chest up, looking bright ahead of you. Hold it. Exhale, come back down. Now, if you're feeling it, we're going to add the legs. If you'd like to stay with the previous version and just keep your hands down or your hands up, that's fine. So we're going to inhale and bring the hands, legs, chest, shoulders, everything up, head, looking out in front of you so you're kind of balancing here on your pelvis. And lower that back down. And then for the last one, you can stay with that previous version or you can bring your hands, your arms out in front of you. And rise everything up again, almost like Superman here. So your hands and arms and your legs, everything's up. You can even bring these into a cactus shape if you like. That'll really help bring the shoulder blades down your back and strengthen that back. And exhale and let that go. Go ahead and rest your head on your forehead for just a moment. I just said rest your head on your forehead, didn't I? Let's try that again. Rest your forehead on your hands. That's what I was meaning to say. I really appreciate you guys bearing with me when I make these funny mistakes, but I hope that you also can see you're getting a true version of what a yoga class would be like instead of everything being edited and perfect. All right, and for the last one, we're just going to stretch out our shoulder one time before we are finished with the class. So what I would suggest is you can either we're going to start with our right arm out. So you can have the arm straight out or maybe bent. It really depends. For some reason, this works better for me with my arm to be out straight versus bent. And for other people, it's better to have it bent. You need to be bent. You can bend it so you have a 90 degree at your elbow. And then make sure that your elbow is slightly, just a little bit further above your shoulder. So it's not lower, it's above. Or you can have your arm out to the side, to the right. So here we go. And all you're going to do is go ahead and roll over onto that right side. Any amount. So you could stay here. You might be able to bring that other foot, your left leg behind you, whatever works for you. So you find what works for you. And you can keep this left hand on the ground kind of as an anchor. So you're really opening up that shoulder head right there, right where your shoulder goes into the socket. Breathing here. And again, if you find that the bent arm version works better for you, please use that one. It's really a personal thing for each person. And then go ahead and come back to center. And now we'll do the other side. So again, I'm going to bring my right arm out in front of, my left arm out to the side straight, but you can have yours bent. So again, if you have it bent, when you're down here, make sure that this elbow is above your shoulder. So you don't want it to be way down here. You want it to be up here if it's going to be bent. Same thing, if you're going to have your arm out straight, you want it to be, you don't want to have it way down here. So have it out to the side here. And then same thing, go ahead and roll over onto your left side. And then use your right arm, your right hand, as a little kickstand to kind of help you here. And some of you may not go very far. You might find, oh, that's just too much. So find where you need to stop and stay there. I'm breathing here for a moment. And then come back to center. And go ahead and bring yourself back up to seated position here. And now I would like for you to try it again. Sit and see how you're sitting. See how what your body wants to do. Does it want to automatically slump forward? And maybe it does. That's possible. Or are you sitting a little bit more up? I'll turn to the side so you can see that. If you're finding yourself, your chest is a little bit more open and your shoulders are a little bit more down the back and your shoulders are away from your ears, then this has been successful for you and you have a nice straight flat back. And this is how we're working to sit all the time. It's easier said than done, believe me, I understand. But if you do this routine a few times a week, maybe once a day, or pick your favorite poses from it, you're going to find that your posture is going to improve over time. Posture will not improve overnight. You have to work with it. So thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you find yourself a little bit more open and maybe not as slumped over for the rest of your day. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Namaste.